Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 16 of this 30 Days of Mindfulness series. So, today I'm going to talk about a very essential quality to a mindfulness practice, which is a quality of curiosity or an investigative quality to the mind and towards experience, almost like a freshness of mind which can begin to wake us up. So, habits are a very common part of the human experience, both in the physical world and, things we do each day, and also in the mind. So, just as in our lives, there can be healthy habits, right? Habits which, like stretching or exercise or whatever it is, having a good meal, are beneficial. There's also harmful habits, which I think everyone can come up with an easy list off the top of their hand. Patterns of addiction come to mind, or maybe 16 hours of binge watching a TV show maybe isn't the best way to spend my Saturday or something like that. And in the same way, occurs in the mind, right? There's, I think generally accepted healthy patterns of mind, such as creativity, right? I think everyone can relate to some degree to that. It feels good. There's a spontaneity in the mind which feels unique and valuable, which can happen. And there's also repetitive grooves in the mind, which are a very, very common part of human experience. Often the mind tends to go down similar paths again and again, such as the same storyline about myself or about another person. And often these can be triggered in certain situations, every time someone does something that makes me feel less about myself, mine goes down to this groove. I'm like this because A, B, C, right? And some of those reasons may have validity, but how helpful is it for the mind to continue, going down through the same stories and the same stories? And so this whole set of kind of patterns of mind that we can go into. In neuroscience, they call this the default mode network, or we could say it's the self. This is the ego, the identity, the collective repetitive patterns of mind, repetitive patterns of thought, all of the collective ideas which we may have about ourselves, and to a large degree which may be inaccurate at times. So a quality of investigation and curiosity in a meditation practice is actually continually interrupting this process, not in a rude or harsh way or anything like that, but actually it's almost like, picture the mind is going down one of these tracks. It's like gripped onto it, and each time we become curious about it, there's like almost a releasing from being involved with the pattern and a sudden awareness of, oh, what is the mind actually doing right now? How am I actually relating to my physical experience, my surroundings, whatever it is? And each time there's a moment of awareness like that, there's some curiosity. It's like, oh, what is actually happening right now? What is it that I'm doing? And through doing this over and over again, we can begin to actually see more clearly which directions we would like to take in life and which ones are repetitive and harmful in ways that we may be unaware of until we start cultivating this curiosity and freshness of mind. And so this is where a lot of the magic of a meditation practice can begin to really bloom, over time, through doing this over and over again, through being curious about experience, it becomes more and more of a natural tendency. And, I think those who have practiced for a few years will tell you that this is something that I know for myself I do hundreds of times every day, after time, just like, oh, beginning to be curious about why am I going down this rabbit hole of thought right now again. Because oftentimes it's like I'm already a little ways into it before I notice that I'm going down this path again. So coming back and being curious. And over time, I think it's easier to snap out of it before we've gone as far. So now we'll try this for a little bit in a seated meditation practice. So just wherever you're sitting right now, just beginning to bring some curiosity towards your posture, towards how you're sitting. Seeing what feels supportive and upright, and also relaxed at the same time. And you can close your eyes if that's comfortable, or rest your gaze in front of you. Just beginning by noticing what is present in the mind right now. It's just this simple recognition which we can do over and over again in this life. And bringing a curiosity towards the sensations of breath in the body. What is your direct experience of this body breathing? Allowing this curiosity to be your default for this meditation. Noticing the contact points with your chair or the cushion beneath you. This experience of being connected and supported. And bringing curiosity towards the entire lower half of the body, which often goes unnoticed by the mind. So the legs and the feet, just allowing the mind to kind of explore this root of the body and stabilize the mind. Softening any unnecessary tension in the legs. Just allowing the mind to settle down into the body. And beginning to notice just the sensations of the full torso breathing. The back, stomach, and chest. These muscles all move in unison to support each breath. So just being curious about what it feels like to be in this body breathing. Sensing the arms resting, the shoulders, and the muscles of the head and face. Allowing the gentle rhythm of the out-breath to soften the body and relax the mind. Now bringing a curiosity towards the movements of the mind. When this mind inevitably will wander to thinking, just noticing where it's going. Is it going towards planning? Is it going towards the past? Is it going into speculation about something? Just noticing what it is and bringing the attention back to the rhythm of the body breathing. And for this last minute or so, invoking this quality of curiosity to see if you can notice when a thought starts, and also when it passes away. Where are these thoughts coming from? There's no pressure on the mind, just simply being aware and present for the experience. So thank you for taking the time to be curious. A really, really valuable thing to do, especially over time when it becomes a healthy habit and repeated. This continued curiousness towards experience can allow us, as I said, to begin to interrupt patterns of mind which kind of hijack our experience, which take us down repetitive patterns and can limit the scope of the mind, you know? It's more difficult to be present in our lives when there's mental patterns which are continually going into our judgments or stereotypes or ideas about limiting ideas about ourselves or about the why things are. So I think this can be a really healthy and worthwhile practice. And my invitation to you over your next 24 hours is just to see if you can begin to notice what are some common themes of the mind, you know? What are some of your own particular ways that the our patterns of mind which are come up in your experience? And noticing these can be helpful, and also each time that you're noticing them is just another practice of mindfulness and a means of interrupting these patterns. So thanks for taking the time to sit and practice and listen, and look forward to seeing you next time. Be well.